Listen to that sound. That's creepy.
Tremendous howling was coming from back here. The whole thing just rolls up like this. Back in the old days, so if we were going to be out for, it was a tick, by the way, the woodpeckers had just gone to town on it. Check this out. 45 degrees out. I can make a lie out of that. Spooky night in the woods. They will rip your shelter to pieces. When they want in or out, they just do it. Ooh, look at that. Actually, I think that's coyotes. I know you're cold. I'm cold too. Put a camp up right here.
Listen to that sound. I don't know what that is. But that's creepy. A loud roaring up there through the woods. I don't know if I'm about to get hit by a lot of wind or what's the deal is. I mean, it almost sounds like a flash flood or something like that. Maybe it's just wind. It's so strange. Well, I'm about to find out what it is. It's wind. Here it comes. I hope I'm anchored in good. Yeah. That is crazy. It was the wind just moving through the woods, getting closer and closer and closer. Here it comes again. Love the wood stove, but tell you what, it goes out pretty quick if you don't tend to it. If you don't tend to the wood stove, it goes out pretty quick. I mean, it don't hold a whole lot of fuel, you know, really tiny. But it'll burn you out of here. Got downright hot yesterday. I had to have both doors open. I had to crawl out of here a few times just to cool down. Take a look around here. That tremendous howling was coming from back here. I could hear it moving through the woods, getting closer and closer and closer. Come up over the ridge there. Man, I tell you, it sounded like a flash flood or something coming down this holler. It was spooky. You can hear the wind up there. It was spooky, but it was neat too. Let's take a look at things around here. Tell you, anytime I can get in among thick trees, interest in land formations and water, clear water, makes me happy. I slept really good. I went to bed pretty early. I mean, it felt late, but that's because it's winter. I slept like a baby. I slept all night too. I only woke up a couple of times to adjust the blankie because Emerson here, Ralph Waldo Emerson, my dog, he sleeps underneath the blankets with me. And so when he gets restless, he knocks our blankets off. You hear that howling? I'm kind of protected down here in this little holler, but I can see the trees moving up real good up on that ridge. Check out this cliff here, where this tree come down. I also got up and had more of that soup last night, that Practical Woodsman Stew. Man, it was really good. The only thing I regret about that stew is I didn't throw in any meat. And you might be saying to yourself, you've got meat with you? I do. I do. And I think if it's still okay, it got kind of warm yesterday, but if it's all right, maybe we'll cook some of it up today. Say hi to the camera there.
I'm still recording. Well, I wasn't planning on it to still be raining today, so that's gonna change my plans a little bit as far as what I had planned for today. I didn't think it was gonna be raining today. Did you? Did you know something you weren't telling me? Let's take a look at our stew here. Maybe have a bite or 10 of it. Let me show you my spice kit, and I'll tell you how to make your own. It's a really nice, this is probably the best cook spice kit you're ever gonna see. First of all, you know, it's like one of those tool rolls. You know, anything can go in there, knives can go in there, anything can go in there, but I've decided to put spices in it. And you can roll this up really nice with your utensils. This, of course, is my Practical Woodsman Stew spoon. My ladle, and my brain's still not working because I've only been awake for about 10 minutes. You know, I keep, I'll show you what I keep in here. You're not in a hurry, are you? I'm not in a hurry. Hiding out from the rain. That's my favorite spoon and fork combo by Human Gear. I've talked about it 4 million times. Go get yourself one. You'll find other designs similar to this, but not as good as this. It's really robust. A lot of the titanium spoon and fork combos, they just bend, just with minimal use. This Human Gear dealio is very robust. All right, so I take that. I take chopsticks. Chopsticks are good for a lot of things, not just eating sushi. If you're cooking in a skillet, you can use your chopsticks to, like tongs, to grab things, flip them over and stuff like that. So, chopsticks. And finally, this might surprise some of you, I carry a bombilla. You say, that looks like a drug device. It's not a drug device, it's for yerba mate, which is a tea. And so I always bring my bombilla for my tea, all right? And like I said, everything just rolls right up into my cooked spice kit thing. All right, moving on. Take those things out. The ladle, the utensils, and my spatula. The things I take change from time to time. I mean, originally, what I had in there is not what I have in there now in a lot of cases like this. I don't even remember what was there. But I've changed it to olive oil. So I got salt. Come on. I think these are 1 ounce bottles. And you'd be amazed at how much 1 ounce of a thing provides. Pepper. Garlic. You know, garlic is not only good for cooking with, but in the warmer months when mosquitoes are an issue, you can take this garlic powder, rub it around your neck like this, rub it on your wrists, and that will keep mosquitoes away, believe it or not. So a lot of good uses for garlic. Keeps vampires away too, of course you already knew that. Olive oil, you know, just that amount of olive oil I can use for cooking. I can use to lubricate things, like tools, my knife. I can use it to coat certain things, like even my cutting board here. I treat that with olive oil from time to time, keep that wood from drying out. So just carry a little bit of olive oil and come in real handy. Turmeric. Gotta love your turmeric. Turmeric is medicinal. I've done episodes of Practical Woodsman in the past where we talked about turmeric being medicinal. It's an antibacterial agent. Cayenne. Good stuff. Cinnamon. Also medicinal. Does a lot of things other than just taste good. Cumin. Paprika. And the newest addition to my spice kit is a little vial of honey. Yes, I said to myself, why haven't I been carrying honey? Comes in, this is also an antibacterial, antimicrobial, antivirus. So if you mix just a little bit of that honey with a dab of that turmeric, like if you have an eye infection or something like that, you know, you could use that on the outside of your eye to treat that that virus or that bacterial infection until you get to the doctor. So that's what it looks like, and the whole thing just rolls up like this. I just put the things in like that, and then I roll it really tight, and then this leather strap here, I wrap it once with my thumb in there, and then I run that through, give that a tug, and that keeps everything together. There you go. My spice cooking kit. Now you can go make one that's even better than mine. The ladle, the utensils, the things I take change from time to time. My whole point of showing you my spice kit was to get my spoon so I could eat my breakfast. I put it all away. Come back here. What the heck I'm thinking. Is that good? Well, now it's my turn. Hey, nay, hey, hey. Very bad manners. I put too much rice in there, but I ain't complaining. I'm just saying, if I had to do it over again. Remember, you want some of this. As you can tell, he loves my stew. Got some good news. The sun is coming out. Let's take a look. Right here. As soon as I said it's coming out, it disappears. The sun's coming out. That's good news. coffee. And I've also got some cocoa here. I like to mix a little bit of my coffee with cocoa when I'm out in the woods. I don't do that at home, but out in the woods I like to do it. Oh. And instead of getting a big fire going here in the fireplace, in the wood stove, I'm gonna wait and restart the fire in the stove, wood stove, much later. That way I won't use up all the fuel that I cut for fire. I'm going to use my little alcohol stove for this. Heat up some hot water, hot agua. I'll tell you one thing that's fantastically convenient is that even when the stove is not being used, the being able to use it like a table is so convenient. It's nice. That's a nice thing. Oh yeah. Yeah, I gotta do some cleaning up today. There's plenty of time for that. This is Starbucks Via. Old Starbucks Via mixed with new Starbucks Via. Once you open the container for the Starbucks Via, you kind of need to start using it. And so, I don't know, this is my cocoa, just instant cocoa. And you know, these pucks here are not enormous, but I find that they last me about a week. Oh, for a week-long trip has been my experience. Another thing I've got planned today is that I think I'm actually going to build a fire for tonight out front here. So I'll have the fire, the campfire, and the wood stove here tonight. It's supposed to get really cold tonight, a dozen or so degrees below freezing. And so I want to make sure I got plenty of wood for the stove. And yeah, I like having a campfire also to kind of keep the boogeyman away, the booger man, the booger of the mountain, you know, old Bigfoot. Really, it's to keep like bear, yotes, you know, coyotes at a distance. They see a campfire, they kind of give it a wide berth, has been my experience. You'll hear them, you hear the yotes coming down over the mountain, yipping and yapping, and I mean, it sounds like I've said this before, it sounds like a cocktail party. It sounds like a human cocktail party. People chattering and laughing and glasses clinking, and that's what the yotes sound like when they're in a really large pack coming down through the dark, scary woods. And you got a good fire going. You'll hear them. They'll stay far away from it. They'll go right around you, but they won't come into your camp. I had a buddy who had yotes come right up into his camp because he was with these folks who, kind of city slickers, who they were backpacking. And they didn't build a fire or anything. They just set up their tents, went to bed. And so if you think about that, a wild animal has no way of knowing you were there. Nothing unusual to keep them away is what I mean, like out of their normal life experience. So they'll just come right into your camp and check you out. That can cause problems, can it? Yeah, it can cause problems. So if you got a nice campfire, that's unusual to bear that hasn't been conditioned to human beings. It's unusual to yotes that haven't been conditioned to being around humans. So campfire, it's not just an emotional thing. It really does keep the critters away. They see that, they smell that, they hear the human activity and stuff, and they say that's not normal to my life experience, and so it kind of spooks them, and they don't get too close. Emerson can tell you all about it, can't you, Emerson? Old Emerson here, he can tell you all about it, can't you? What have you been doing? You've been running around checking things out? Find anything interesting? I have to have this coffee and get some work started. Needs more coffee. The cocoa's good, but coffee needs to be a bit stronger. There we go. Mix that in there. Yeah, it's perfect. It's like mud. That's perfect. Well, you're needy. Why are you so needy for? Let's go outside. Let's go outside. Come on. We're gonna go outside. It's not raining or anything, so there ain't no reason for us not to go out there. You know what I need to do? I need to set up my solar panel I'll tell you what, I don't know what I did last night. I woke up, my phone was completely dead, and now my power bank is half drained because I've had to charge my phone. Not a good thing, not a good thing. So let's get that set up. I gave myself a minor heart attack there for a second. Thought I forgot my solar panel. Let me show you how I got set up here. You want to try to angle that thing as well as you can for the sun to get the maximum benefit out of it. If you don't, you almost be wasting your time. And if you can see that there, she's charging. Like I said, I accidentally did something with my phone last night. Completely killed my phone. I can't believe I did that. So, I'm going through my power a lot faster than I ever intended to. And, you know, that's just the way things go sometimes. That's just the way things go sometimes. Well, that was funny and completely unintended. I have some feet for this Helinox chair. They're not the Helinox feet. They're cheap feet that I got off of a, you know, like an Amazon knockoff. They work when I use them, but they don't click into place. So when I pick up the chair and move it, the feet, the duck feet stay behind. And it's been, you know how wet it's been here. So yesterday, it was raining all that time. So the feet just went right down into the ground here. That was comical. Right, buddy? You're so short, you're never in the frame. You're so short, you're never in the frame. Ah. Of course, my coffee's cold now. Man, what a beautiful day. Let me tell you about this hat. I got this from Miller Hats in Texas. The guy gave me a fantastic deal on this hat. You saw how soaking wet it got yesterday. And if you look at it today, it's even more handsome than ever. This is 100% rabbit fur. If it were a wool hat, I'll tell you, it's amazing the way that wind is. It sounds like a Mack truck coming down over the hill. So if this were wool, after me hiking all day yesterday with this hat on, today it would be so shrunk. So you don't want to do that with a wool hat. But I'll tell you what, I'm so pleased with the way it bounced back, this rabbit fur hat. And you know, it's getting a little dirty and stuff. That's okay. I want it to have a little bit of character. But how much did I pay for this hat? Maybe I paid $200. The guy gave me a really good deal on it. This is the fawn collar. That's a 3-inch brim. In the past, I went with 2.5-inch brims. And the older I get, the more I'm appreciating the wider brim. So this is a 3-inch brim, and I think that's kind of the sweet spot for me. You enjoying yourself? I am too. I am too. Been some challenges, but that's why we're here. Yeah, you can come up. Got to cut plenty of firewood for the stove tonight. I want to try to make lye for from the ashes in the wood stove from last night. And with that lye, I'm gonna mix it with my bacon grease after I cook some bacon up, and hopefully make some soap out here on the fly. Some crude but functional soap. It's very simple. You mix lye and bacon grease or lard, and you'll get soap. And the way you get lye is by straining some water through hardwood ashes, and that's what I'm gonna try to do that today, maybe. So many things I want to do while we're out here. All right, you're crushing my nuts up down there. Oh, caffeine's nice. One thing I've been learning about this solar power, which is, it's kind of new for me. I never used to bring, and I was just thinking last night, back in the old days, when, the iPhone was new, we'd go on these trips. We didn't take power banks. No power banks. So if we were going to be out for, it was a tick, by the way, a tick on my chin. So if we're going to be out for and now I'm worried I'm going to get that disease that makes you allergic to meat. Dadgum tick. What's a tick doing out this time of year? Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, so we would take the phones and we would just we'd put them on airplane mode or shut them all the way down so that they couldn't, they wouldn't drain. So we'd have them off all the time. And if I wanted to do a video or something like that, I'd have to power my phone up, take the video, and shut it all the way down. When we get up to like the top of a mountain, we might power them on, see if we get a call in or a text message or something out, and we would make an iPhone, believe it or not, last a whole week without any power bank, without any way to recharge it. So I was remembering that last night when I was looking at this enormous power bank that I got and this solar panel. Well, one thing I learned about these is that you're almost always chewing through your power much faster than you can recuperate it. So even though I've got the solar panel going over here, trying to charge my power bank, I'm probably only going to get, a trickle of power back on my power bank, but it's better than nothing, I reckon. I'll go check on it. Man, I can't believe that tick got me right on the chin. I thought it was a zit or a scab or something. And there I am picking at it. It turns out to be a daggum tick. Look at this tree here. There's a tree right here. It's just the woodpeckers have just gone to town on it. Check this out.
Did you see me watching you? Did you see me watching you? Makes me happy to see you happy. That's why. Makes me happy to see you happy. Uh-oh. Finally bit the bucket. Finally bit it. I've cleared out a spot here. This is where I'm going to put my campfire for tonight. It's plenty of distance away from the shelter, but I'll still be able to appreciate the light of it and all that in the night. That's impressive. That's impressive. I've had this tripod for a decade. I like it because it's super light. Oh, this also broke, so I'm going to try to put a Band-Aid around that. I'll tell you what, it gives new meaning to the purpose of Band-Aids, doesn't it? Hopefully that'll keep that from popping out. That's pretty good. It might get me through until I get out of the woods. I don't want to use them all up because I might actually need it for its intended purpose at some point. So we'll save one Band-Aid just in case I get cut. Okay, that'll do us. It's not getting a lot of charge. That sun keeps coming up, coming out, and then going behind the clouds. Coming out, and then going behind the clouds. But better than nothing. Try to get a little bit of power on there. I don't know if you can see this. That's the bed that I'm going to
build my fire on tonight. The ground is very, very wet. You can tell by the way that my chair sunk into the ground there earlier. But you never want to build your fire on a wet ground. It'll snuff your fire right out. So I just put a bed of sticks there. I'm going to build my fire on top of that this evening. Get down. Blocking my sun, son. The idea of these things is always better than the actual thing. All right, actually getting a charge now. Says it's 45 degrees out here, 8 degrees Celsius. So I've just been organizing some things here around the camp. Cleaned out the inside here of the shelter. Got that all spick and span. Readjusted the stove a little bit. Got my pack hanging up.
Got some things drying out over here. Using the solar thing was a bust. It's just not sunny enough today. That's the bag that I brought the wood stove in. The reason it's so windy today is because the temperatures are dropping a lot. It's supposed to drop down to 26 degrees tonight. So anyway, what I want to do is I cleaned out my cook pot from yesterday, and I want to empty the ash pan, but I want to save some of them. We're going to try to make lye and make soap probably tomorrow. But anyway, I need to empty this out, and so let's do that. All right, there's a little bit more to the story. This is a hardwood ash. I can make lye out of that, and I needed like a couple good handfuls of that. I'm gonna put it in my pot so we can make lye tomorrow. I don't want to stick my hand right in there, even though it feels cool. There might still be some hot coals in there. You know, you could do this right out of your campfire. So you don't need a wood stove to do this. You want to try to avoid the big chunks. You just want this light stuff here. So here we go. That should be enough to make some lye. I don't need a whole lot of it. I only need a couple ounces of that lye to do what we want to do. There you go. Now you want to be careful when we start making the lye. It's very caustic. It'll burn you. So we don't want to get burnt. My buddy over here is acting cold. I've been moving around working, so I'm not too cold. But he's in here acting cold, so I'm gonna go ahead and fire up this wood stove for him so he can come in here and get warm. He's a southern breed, so doesn't handle the cold too good. Whether or not I'm able to have a campfire tonight will depend greatly on whether this wind dies down or not. I've said it in the past. I think the wind is the number one enemy of the woodsman. There's no point in starting a campfire if the wind is blowing, 60-mile gusts and stuff like that, because you can't enjoy it. Even if you get the fire going and you get it going real good, you can't enjoy it because you can't feel the heat coming off of it because the wind's taking it right away. The way I think things are probably going to play out is that the cooler temperatures are going to come in, and by this evening they'll have settled and the wind will calm down. Well, the temperature has really dropped, and the wind has just gotten worse and worse and worse. So I've battened down the hatches here. Really just working on this fire. If the wind calms down, I really would like to have a campfire out there tonight. But my priority's been getting this wood stove going good. And everything's so daggum wet. It has taken a while. I've had to use everything in my arsenal. Even my bellow. Been blowing on that fire for the past hour. But it feels like it's finally taken off. I mean, the wind has just been crazy. Like a freight train coming down through the woods and the hollers there. Listen. You hear that wind? Now it's coming on this side. Just sounds like just freight trains. This side, that side. It's a good thing I'm down in the holler. Glad I'm not up on the top of the ridge. Thought I'd give you a look at how the day has turned out. Sun went away, turned gray. Wind has just been crazy. And I am getting ready to cook supper. And Emerson here has just been trying to stay warm inside this shelter. So I don't know if this wind is going to stop. Let's see what the temperature is. .41. My band-aids are loosening up here. Can you see that? 41 Fahrenheit. 6 Celsius. The percentage there is humidity. 68% humidity. Look at his back flanks there, shivering. He gets cold easy. You don't have like 2 layers of fur like some of these dogs do. He's just got 1 layer of hair, same as I do. So he gets cold real easy. Thinking about having bacon and eggs. So over here, I've got the bacon. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It won't make up its mind about whether it wants to rain or not. Driving me nuts. Let's have some eggs and bacon. We'll have a discussion about meat in the wilderness. I packed bacon and I packed pork. Big old slab of pork. The bacon might be all right. I tried to keep it outside away from the heat. It's partially cured, modern day cured. We'll see if it's any good. And the pork, that was frozen in my freezer. And I wrapped that real good in some wrapping that is specifically designed to keep things cold for a longer amount of time. So we'll see how that turned out. Thinking about doing something with that tomorrow. Still looks good to me. Yeah. Now remember, we want to save this grease to make our soap.
really dislike the wind. The wind just complicates everything. It's the most frustrating thing to work with out in the woods, at least according to my thinking. Other folks might disagree, but the wind, in my opinion, just makes everything so much more complicated. I mean, basically, you just got to hide out. Even rain doesn't do that to you. You can work with rain and snow and all that. You know, when I settled on this spot here for a place to spend a few days, I did not know that wind was going to be in the forecast. Didn't know that at all. Just as a precaution, I brought some wire and I made sure to secure the stovepipe, both sides, tied the tree with wire. And I'm glad I did that. Like I said, I had no idea that there's actually a extreme weather warning today here where I'm at because of the wind. So, you know, you never know. Better prepared than sorry. Yeah, it's just unpleasant to be out in. I'm talking about exposed to it. I think it's more unpleasant to be exposed to wind than to be exposed to rain, snow, all that. I mean, if you're with somebody hiking along or something, you can't even have a conversation because you can't hear each other. So it's really frustrating. I'm not complaining. I'm happy to be out here. I'm just saying it's caused me to adjust some of the plans that I had. I've never used this shelter before. It's a Waldmate TP shelter. And my goodness, for the space you get in here, I can't believe how small and compact this thing packs down. It's not heavy. You could actually use this for backpacking. I mean, the shelter, and I mean the space inside is just ridiculous. I can stand up in it in the middle. If I weren't using the wood stove though, I wouldn't bring this shelter. I don't need this much space under normal circumstances. I brought this shelter specifically to use this wood stove. If I were taking, 50-mile foot trip through the mountains, I wouldn't need something this big. I wouldn't be taking the stove. I find that it's easier to stay organized if you've got a smaller space inside your shelter rather than a larger space. While I will say it's nice to be sitting here in my chair inside my shelter, I couldn't do that with my primary shelter that I take. Although that's nice, most of the time you're really just sleeping inside your shelter. So you're sitting out by the fire and then just crawling into your shelter. So there's not really a huge need to be able to stand up inside of one and all that. All right, back to my bacon. Tell you what, you're out here, you burn so many calories. Everything's work, everything's work. So at home, you just wait till you're hungry and then you go grab something out of the fridge or whatever. But when you have to prepare your meal, a lot of times you realize you're hungry and then you realize, oh, I still got to prepare a meal, and that might take an hour. It's not like at home. But so by the time you get to eat, you're just absolutely daggum ravenous. Oh, thank you. Wow.
So here's the thing about these sorts of things. You have to know what the temperatures are going to be when you go out. If it's like 43 or lower, you can get away with taking a lot of meats. In this case, I had a warm day on the day I come out. So I just had to plan to keep the meat cooled until I got out here, until the next day. So I did certain things to try to keep my meat cold until now the temperatures are really dropping. So it's just like being out in a refrigerator. Hopefully my pork's all right. I'll be able to do something nice with that tomorrow. I want to make some scrambled eggs, but I don't want to mess up my bacon grease. So what we're going to do is we're going to pour the bacon grease that's in the skillet into my mug here, and we'll save it overnight. Pour it in here, and then I'll put a lid on that, and it'll sit overnight and cool. And then tomorrow we'll make our lye. Be very easy. Just heat up some water and pour it in those ashes, and then we'll be able to have our soap tomorrow, our frontiersman soap, our Practical Woodsman soap.
Well, I've done it now. There we go.
Well, darkness is falling on me. I've got my lantern, my old trusty faithful lantern going on out here. Got some water from the creek, and I've got it in here in my kettle. I still got my eggs cooking there. Boy, don't that look good. That's because it is good. There's our bacon grease for soap tomorrow. Got some things spread out about here. He keeps pushing my bed all the way out of the shelter. So, gotta adjust that. I don't think I'm gonna be making a fire tonight. The wind is still picking up and it's got like 30, 40 mile gusts. So, fire's just gonna have to wait until tomorrow night. We got lots of good things going on here tonight though. Wow, that pepper smelled great. How long you reckon that wood will last? Won't last 2 hours. I'll have to go out. I'm just hoping that the wind will simmer down a little bit and things will get calm so that it'll be pleasant to go out there and get some wood, enough to get me through the night. That's a good boy. All right, let's go in. Doesn't that look good? That looks fantastic. But I ain't hungry right now. It's early because it's winter time. So I'm gonna eat that for a late supper here, probably around 10, 11 o'clock. I'll start to get hungry again. And I'll eat. I have a little something special for tea. Let's go get it out of my bag. My bag is over there, way down there. All right, let's do it. I'm gonna need my Kuxa cup. My Kuxa cup, since I'm pretty much using all my other pots and pans. Let's go get my Kuxa. There it is. There's my Kuxa. Gonna make a nice warm drink for tonight. I can hear it starting to sprinkle again out there. Kind of ridiculous.
but it's going to do what it's going to do, ain't it? I didn't bring a lamp except for this, my oil lantern, my Fuhrer hand oil lantern, and I don't really want it in here with me. I think it's better out there. So anyway, got my Kuksa cup, and I brought something special for this trip. Got a bag of taters, sweet taters. You saw me make my stew the other day, and I've still got leftover taters and these root vegetables. Got a couple of those, radishes. I couldn't remember what they were called there for a second. Okay, and I also brought some ginger, and I'm going to make myself a nice drink of hot ginger. It's going to be wonderful. Man, it's so nice and cozy in here. And I step outside to get firewood, and it's literally freezing. And I don't know if you can hear it in the video, but do you hear that? It's not rain, it's like little icy rain. So who knows? I might wake up in the morning to snow. That would be awesome. That'd be beautiful. Another thing I thought this ginger might be good for is mixing with that soap that we try to make tomorrow. Should be pretty simple. Just dice it up real nice and small. Throw it in the bacon grease. Pour the lye on top of it, mix it all up, and have like a good ginger smelling soap. Here we go. And I'll do it. Just ginger. Pour hot water on top of that. Let that steep. And then I'm going to add some honey. There's my honey. Hello, my honey. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal. You thirsty? You're not trained, you don't know that you can just go down to the stream and get yourself whatever you want. How about we go down together? How about we go down together? Yeah, it's cold out here. It is cold. Let's see. How do we usually get down there, Dimmers? Not this way. I think it's... Come on. Come on.
think he wants a drink, but doesn't know how to go about it. Been running around all day. Emmers, come on, stay with me. I don't want you going in there because I'm afraid you'll try to eat my food. Emerson. Stinky. Oh, nice and warm in here though. Maybe I'll tell you a campfire story tonight, even though I don't have a campfire going tonight. You could still say it's a spooky night in the woods. I ever showed off my water bottle pouch. I made it out of the pockets of an old pair of cargo pants that I had, and I sewed these loops on there so that I can carry that with paracord over my shoulder. But what I like the most about it is how easy the daggum thing opens and closes. It closes with that cinch thing. But I use paracord for that too. Most of your water bottles, pouches, I don't know why they make them the way they do. You hear that owl? Wow, he's close too. Emerson hears him. Emerson hears him. He's gonna go check it out. Wow. Actually, I think that's coyotes. I think that's the yotes. See, that's the bad thing about not having a campfire. They get a little too close for comfort. So he's out there investigating. Oh, he'll keep them away. Let's pour this in here into my honey and ginger. Ooh, look at that. Oh, it's gonna be good. Let that sit and steep for a little bit. Raw ginger and honey. That's going to be nice. That's going to be real nice. One of the things you got to keep in mind when you're traveling with a dog is that they will rip your tent or your shelter to pieces, because when they want in or out,
They just do it. They don't know that there's a zipper or that things tear. They don't know that. They don't care about that. So I've just gotten into the habit of every time I'm with my dog, I leave a little doggy door opening on one side of the shelter, and that's just to make sure he doesn't tear my shelter up. When he wants to get in and out, he just goes. So he's happy, and I stay sane. Just mixing my honey and my ginger here in that boiling water. I love my Kuksa cup. A Kuksa is a great thing to have. It's just, it's kind of problematic too, because you can only carry so many daggum things into the woods. And you can't cook with the Kuksa cup. I'm talking about this wooden cup here that I'm using. This wooden cup that's made out of birch burl. They're fantastic. But you can't cook with them. And, they can't go in the fire or anything like that. So they're kind of limited in what you can do with them. Basically, you can eat out of them or you can drink out of them. So I still have to carry my cook mug. That's got our bacon grease in there. I brought a pot, a little titanium hanging cook pot, but that's got our ashes from yesterday's fire, so I can't use that. Skillet's still got my supper in there. My appetite ain't woke up yet, so it's still early. I know it seems like it's midnight here, but again, it's wintertime. It's only 6:30 where I'm at, but it's pitch dark. The first thing we heard was a hoot owl. And then what answered the hoot owl was the yotes. That was interesting. We'll see if I can turn that light down a little bit so I don't burn through my batteries. See if we can get the same effect. Not quite, is it? Not quite the same effect. I look a lot spookier. Oh well, I've got spare batteries. What I really like about this headlamp, it's a Petzl. It's a Petzl headlamp. And what I like about it is that Petzl has their own USB-C rechargeable battery. That's nice, but what's also nice is that it'll take regular AAA batteries. So if you don't have time to recharge that rechargeable, you can always just slip in some store-bought AAA batteries. Well, man, I'm dying to try this ginger tea. I'm afraid I'm gonna burn myself though if I try. Let's try it out. Man, that ginger with that honey. Wow. It's perfect. It's perfect. And then you can chew on the little ginger bits. That's pleasant. Boy, that's really pleasant. I bought a ginger root from the Piggly Wiggly, and I just ordered it, and then I went to pick it up, and daggum thing was the size of a Winnebago. Which is all right. I wanted to have plenty of ginger to get through the wintertime, for if I get sick, get a cold, get the flu, those sorts of things. Guys, that's really wonderful. You guys start taking some ginger root into the woods with you. Man, with a little bit of honey and boiling water.
That's so refreshing out here. Wow. Get this stove turned down a little bit. Hope it doesn't go out. Man, that's nice. Hear that wind still going strong. Thought I was going to be able to have a fire tonight. I thought the colder temperatures coming in would have settled by now and the wind would have settled, but that's not what has happened. I hope the sound of that wind's picking up on the video. Puts a hair in my biscuit. The wind puts a hair in my biscuit. You hear it out there? It just don't quit. It's noisy. It's difficult to work in. It makes my dog cold. All right, let's see if you can see this. Let me turn my light off. It went behind a cloud, but the moon is up there. It popped out for a second. There it is. It popped out for a second. All right, here's what home looks like for tonight. You see me? There's my chair where I've been doing these interviews. And there's my tripod. There's the stove. I just went for a run for firewood. And here's the woods tonight. I'm burping up those eggs. I keep my lantern out here like a street light. If I have to jump up, I won't have to fiddle too much for a flashlight. I'll be able to see a little bit. All right, let's get in here. Go on. You don't want to come in? Come on, buddy. There's that doggy door I was telling you about. And I leave just a little bit open there so he can come in and out. All right, let's stock this fire. All right, I gotta dangle up some things here. It's gonna be cold tonight. Cold. Hang on. I know. You gotta wait for me. Now, you gotta get up off my wool blanket. Hop up, hop up. Get up. Oh, I didn't mean you had to leave. All right. All right, hop up here. Hop up here. I know you're cold. I'm cold too. Okay.
We'll be fine. Oh, we'll be fine. All right. Except I'm too high up. Okay. Now we'll be fine. Good night.